Tay.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
Will it be the way or not the way? Find out and join the conversation.
Good morning.
Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of The Way with Jazz and Tay. As always, it is your girls, Jasmine.
And Shantae.
That was weird. That's the first time we've ever done that.
Who is who? We don't know.
We're super excited, as always, to be back, sharing a Thursday with you guys. Let's do a little recap of our week.
Yeah. What happened since last Thursday? Let's see. I feel like a lot.
Yeah, because my week was kind of crazy. Honestly, the weekend was crazy.
The weekends are always crazy. However, I had oddly enough relaxing weekend, but still a very busy and productive weekend. So it was a little mix of the two.
I feel that. So for me, as we all know, Friday was Valentine's Day.
What?
Boo.
What?
I'm kidding. I don't actually dislike Valentine's Day.
I'm just single, so it's like
it's like a single awareness day. It's like you're like really aware you're single.
Yeah.
But also, my friends and I, we did Galentine's Day on Valentine's Day instead of the day before, and we went and had a fancy dinner. It was packed. We got to see some drama.
Oh.
Yeah, there was like a guy who forgot to do reservations for Valentine's Day, and they ended up at the bar, and I was like, his girlfriend's going to go cry in the bathroom right now.
What a shame. That's embarrassing.
Boo.
Yeah,
it was.
That's trash.
And
Come on, man.
Here's the bad part is that actually happened. We watched her get up and go to the bathroom, and I was like, oh.
Did you guys go in there and
I
be
was like, I'm going to cry. Like, my eyes started tearing up.
Secondhand, like, sadness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, do better, guy. Like, it's always the 14th. Make sure to have a reservation
That's
anywhere.
what I mean. Like, how do you forget? That's the one day that never changes.
Yeah, but we ate some good food, and then we headed over to Still Liquor to kind of, chill. But what we realized is that, okay, so normally Still Liquor is packed on a Friday. And I was like, maybe more people are in relationships than we think and or know.
Oh, yeah,
because there was nobody in there.
Also, there's a lot of, like, I feel like sneaky relation, or it's like all of a sudden, everybody that is not out here claiming people are all of a sudden claiming people.
Because you'll be in trouble on the 15th if not.
Right. So,
Can I interrupt the ladies
Oh,
one second?
absolutely.
Can we rotate our phone? It's not showing the proper angle.
Oh,
so you guys
sure.
are sideways.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? You guys are both like on top of it.
Understood.
Yeah.
This one?
Just looking out for our viewers because we can check you two now out on Facebook Live, what you're doing now.
Look at
We'll see the
it.
rotation here in a minute. I'm just kind of, well, that's going to be fun. I know. As many
Alrighty.
viewers as possible. That's what we want.
There we go.
There we go. Ah, we
Perfect.
rotated. We're good
Awesome.
now.
Okay, cool.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well done.
Much appreciated.
And then I guess, like at not the tail end, probably on Saturday,
Yeah, that
we
was
went
Saturday.
to Defy Tacoma. There's one in Seattle, and essentially it's this big trampoline warehouse.
I've taken my kids to the South Center one.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's amazing.
I didn't
Yeah.
know there was one in South
Yep,
Center. Okay.
mhm.
It was crazy. We went out there, did a couple jumps. I skinned up my knee
Ooh.
instantly. It was like one of the first things I did, and the whole time I'm like, I think I got a scratch
You
on
did.
my
You
leg.
were like, I think something's going on here.
And then later I went to go change my clothes, and I was like, oh, it's just like this big on my
it was like a good layer.
It was one of those
Like an
things
emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
you're going through right now.
It reminded me of why maybe 30-year-olds shouldn't be.
No.
But it was tons of fun. They had I went off this high dive jump thingy. They had one of those things that they have on Wipeout where you are supposed to jump over.
Obstacle course types?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It was fun. There was something there for everybody too. All skill levels. You could show off if you were really good, but then you could also play it safe if you were maybe not so good. But I had a blast. I felt like a kid, and we were sore
The next day.
I did not know why. I was like, why does my arm hurt? I kept moving my arm, and I was like, what did I do? Did I fall or something? But no, it was the defying gravity.
All that skin be jumping up and
Well,
down.
that
Yeah.
on top of your other things you did.
What else did I do?
Look at your list there.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
come on now. What?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that.
That
So
thing.
I love that.
so on Valentine's Day, I made sure that I was booked and busy. You know, can't think about it when you're just too busy working.
I can't do.
So I worked at my regular job, and then I went and shot another cut video, which was super fun. One of the most fun ones I think I've ever done. Can't talk about it. I don't think so anyways, but it was amazing. Check it out. I don't want to say amazing, but it was interesting. Just when it comes out, it'll be a good one. And then also my bestie, Ariana, was visiting from New York, and this is my second time seeing her this year. I'm already on a roll with that one. Like, I'm blessed. That was really nice to be able to see her. I miss her and I love her. And all during the same time that she came over and we were hanging out, I managed to lock myself out of the house, which is also the second time this year I've done that.
That's a classic Shantae move.
Yes, literally. She's the one that does that.
Laugh at it. Like, I was like, that's not very nice. But you're like, I do it too.
I've like shown up at the house before, and Shantae's been sitting on the front porch on her phone, just like
chilling.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm on Amazon. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Like, I know somebody's showing up soon.
Yeah, so I was really just like embarrassed, but it turned out to be like a blessing. I was able to she was able to come over and visit with my mom. My mom doesn't live too far from us, so she just gave us a ride to my mom's, and we hung out until somebody came and unlocked the house for us. But yeah, that was my weekend. It was pretty good. Like I said, it was productive but still relaxing. I'm looking forward to seeing how this weekend goes. I think it's going to be a relaxing weekend. I'm going to make that a priority. But really quickly,
I'm trying to think, what is this weekend? There's so much going on. I honestly can't keep track of things.
But really quickly, I hope that you guys had a good President's Day. Many of you guys probably had that day off. I did not. I was working.
Me too. I was here.
Okay.
Samesies.
Cool. I'm glad that we were all on the same boat on that one. You know why? Because we are about our money. But also, work did not close.
I was about to say, our jobs are about that.
Gotta keep that economy moving forward.
But also, I don't think we really had a choice.
Right.
So anyways, shouts out to y'all who had the day off, but also shouts out to everybody who kept the world going that day. And then on Tuesday, I hope you guys had a glass of wine, if not a few, because it was Drink Wine Tuesday. Drink a glass of wine Tuesday.
National Wine Day or something.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
This
but
past Tuesday?
Yeah, and I think, was that when we had some wine?
It's champagne, at least.
We had like the sparkling rosé. We had a whole bottle between the two of us on Tuesday night.
We were celebrating.
And it was funny because I don't think we did that intentionally to correlate with that like national
No,
drink
we didn't at
but
all.
it worked out. So
But now that we've caught you guys up on our weeks, let's get into our icebreakers, y'all.
ooh.
So we are keeping this episode Black History Month themed. That's the theme for the whole month. So next week's episode will also be Black History Month themed.
Correct.
So our icebreaker is also Black History Month themed. And so we're doing categories again.
What did we do last week? Was last week categories?
We did song association.
Okay, cool. So we're keeping it, a little different but the same. Consistent but different. Okay, cool. So there's 3 categories. Some of them are going to be easier than others.
Some of them we might embarrass ourselves.
Yes, that's what I'm excited about.
I hope not.
Okay, cool. So the first category is going to be famous Black figures. Easy breezy.
You say that now.
Who are we starting?
Yeah, let's go. Ready? And I'll count you in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Nicki Minaj.
Chris Brown.
Taraji P. Henson.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Nelson Mandela.
Obama.
Malcolm X.
Michelle Obama.
Ooh, Rosa Parks.
Coretta Scott King.
Ruby Bridges.
Oprah Winfrey.
Gail King.
Stedman.
I can't believe you went there. I mean, there's credit there.
Oh.
That's too much time. That's too much time.
The Stedman threw me off.
That was a good move, though. That was a good move.
Yo, that was a good one.
And like,
because we were keeping that going for a while, and then like we were kind of jumping all over the place with like current people, and like
I started it with Nikki. I was like, We were just talking about him the
We
other day,
were.
too.
We totally were. Okay, cool. So that was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to start off with this next one?
Yeah, so the next category, you guys, is African countries.
Okay, ready?
No.
Angola,
Sudan,
Egypt,
Nigeria,
Chad,
Rwanda.
South Africa,
No.
Ethiopia,
Ethiopia,
Somalia,
Eritrea. I'm sorry, I lost.
Namibia.
She took mine.
I panicked.
I told her I was saying South Africa off top. Like, that's my one.
I'm so sorry. I panicked, Shantae. I'm so sorry.
You were like, I'm taking it.
I didn't want to take the L. I apologize.
We'll give it to you anyway. And for both of you.
That's fine.
All right, next category is going to be soul food.
Ooh, I'm ready for this one.
Like, okay, this is particular types, styles.
You know, I was actually
Oh.
going to ask that. Is that like sides? Is that like.
Yeah, this is a whole different world here.
I think however you want to interpret it.
So it's
So I could be like
More
ice
open.
cream?
That's not soul food. Oh, no. I'm thinking, okay, African American soul food, clearly.
I mean,
Ice cream is not African American soul food.
could be.
Peach
With
cobbler.
some peach cobbler?
Like, that's but you could say peach cobbler. But, like, I wouldn't say ice cream.
Okay, bet. We've got the.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So think southern soul food.
We'll get
Like-
to it when it arrives. How about that?
Right.
Okay.
We
We're
gonna
having the debate
see.
before the game started. Like, wait.
Wait
I
a minute.
I have a feeling she's going to be like, nah.
No. I won't do all that.
All right.
You want to start?
Yes.
Go.
Catfish.
Mac and cheese.
Collard greens.
Candied yams.
Black eyed peas.
Ham, hocks, and beans.
Ooh.
Come on.
Shantae, you're black.
Deep fried turkey.
Oh, she came back.
Well, I was trying to think of like a meat because we
That
said
is
a bunch of
true.
sides,
That
and I
is
was
true.
like,
Hog's head
Fried
cheese.
chicken,
Hogshead cheese.
always fried chicken.
pork, deep fried pork rinds or pork skin.
Those are good too.
I was
Keep it
also-
going.
I was barbecue ribs,
Ooh, yeah, barbecue ribs are good. What else is there? Corn.
cornbread.
I said cornbread, I think.
Mm.
What else is there that? What's my mom makes like cabbage with like ham.
Yes,
like
cabbage.
Cabbage is always like a dish. Oh, oxtail.
Oh, the nasty stuff.
Chitlins.
Hate it.
Chitlins.
Chitterlings.
Okay, so
leave me.
the thing with chitlins is that like, and I just recently kind of was refamiliarized with this over last New Year's, but like there's a reason why they make the chitlins and the collard greens and stuff. Like the sides are one's supposed to like bring you money, one's supposed to bring you luck and like all this stuff. So
And the black eyed peas.
The black eyed peas at the beginning.
there you
of the
go.
year,
Yes.
The New Year. It's
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
have, like,
So
mhm.
so yeah, we have black eyed peas, we have collard greens, and then like the chitlins. I don't know what the chitlins are supposed to do, but they stink up the whole house.
Yeah.
They snake up the whole house and they're gross.
No, they're not that bad. They're really good. So here's how I like my chitlins. Take a bowl of collard greens and like some beans, and you gotta have some cornbread, and you gotta have some chitlins, and you gotta eat like the chitlins with Tabasco sauce, and the collard greens gotta have Tabasco sauce on them, and you just kind of gotta like eat a bite of the chitlins with like a side, or you know what I mean? You gotta
Kind of combine it.
combine the flavors.
If you guys
and-
have ever seen those videos where people are like, how you eat avocado and they just throw it in the trash, that's me and shit. And that's what everybody else should do.
That's funny.
Gross.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna jump into our first break. Thanks for listening to The Way with Jazz and Ted.
We'll be right back.
Alternative Talk 1150. We're on your radio at 1150 a.m. We're on your HD radio at 98.9 Channel 3.
So many ways to listen.
We're on the web at 1150kknw.com, streaming live audio and video as well as MP3 archives of many of our shows.
So many ways to listen.
And now, we're on your smartphone or tablet. Download our free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play and take Alternative Talk 1150 anywhere you go.
So many ways to listen.
Hey, Seattle! Tune in to The Way with Jazz and Tay every Thursday morning from 7 to 8 a.m.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
We have something for everyone, from Song of the Week, where we'll introduce you to local Seattle artists,
to the quirky games that we play for that little pick-me-up to get you through your morning commute. Again, that's The Way with Jazz and Tay every Thursday morning from 7 to 8 a.m.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Way Jazz and Tay and on Twitter at The Way JT. See you guys on Thursday.
There are two types of journeys in life. There are those we choose to take, and those that life takes us on. From moments we'll never forget, to those we must overcome. I'm Tim McGraw. Join American Airlines and Stand Up to Cancer in our efforts to help make every person diagnosed with cancer a long-term survivor. Visit standuptocancer.org/American Airlines to learn more. Stand up with us.
Real people, real life, real radio. Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tay. Before the break, we recapped you guys on our weeks and we played categories, which was really fun, and I think it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Exactly.
And now we're going to hop into our reviews of the week.
Whoop, whoop. Shantae, take it away.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get it started. So at my job, they do a really great job of, I would say, like, one of the values of is inclusivity and making sure that people feel welcome and like there's a community for them. So they have these employee groups, like they have like an Asian group for, Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, and people of Asian descent, and it's a group for them and allies. And then they also have one for, African Americans and people of African descent and their allies. And, there's LGBTQ, there's all of these groups. And because it's Black History Month, I'll just call it by its name. It's called LIDA because I don't want to say the Black group. That just seems weird. LIDA put on an event for us yesterday, and it was a dance company that came in called Northwest Tap Connection. And they are located in South Seattle, right on Rainier, and their purpose is, or what they are, is they are a race and social justice oriented studio connecting dance across communities. And the owner, Miss Mabel, she was in, the Seattle Police Department and, saw a lot of stuff that concerned her. And so she wanted to do something. She was also a tap dancer at one point in her life. And so she wanted to mix the two. She wanted to, do something for the kids that would help them learn discipline and learn a skill, but also to keep them off the streets so she wouldn't have to see them come through, her office at the Seattle Police Department.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
It was an amazing performance. All of the performers were either in middle school or elementary school, and the show was called the African Odyssey, and it was beautiful. I tried really hard not to cry because with me, I cry whenever there's a Black story told, and so I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, like always a little teary-eyed. And it was just really cool. Like, she took us from, Africa through the Middle Passage to like when, Africans first got to America, and then like kind of talked about the civil rights, and every dance coincided with the story that she was telling, and she did kind of like a spoken word as well.
That was really cool.
It was amazing. It was really touching, and it was like awesome to be at my job and to be a part of it and to just really feel like those are my people and that's my community. And I connected with them on that. And the kids are talented as heck. There was this one boy in the whole group. The rest were girls that were there, and he was just phenomenal.
He was tearing it up.
He really was. Like, he had a couple of like not solos, but kind of like standout What do you call those?
Solos. Those are solos.
It was a solo, but it felt like it was like obviously choreographed.
No, they're still
Okay,
called
so
solos.
he had he had a couple of solos, and I was just impressed with him. Like everybody was just clapping. There was a part where they talked about black churches, and like everybody's clapping and rocking with it, and I was like, this is just amazing to be a part of. And they do a lot in the community, and I can't wait to kind of see what else they do and be a part of that as well.
Yeah, that's dope. I want to check that out. I want to look into that. That's really cool.
This show alone just made me want to like do more and see more of what Seattle has to offer in like situations or spaces like this.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I really love that. You said that they do they have adult classes and things like that, or is it just because of the kind of program that it is? It's like middle school and elementary.
It's mostly for children.
Okay, cool.
I was actually going to ask if they did any adult classes, but they're also always looking to hire people. So like another one of their big things is they like to provide like a place for kids to go, and then to provide job opportunities for others as well. So that's like another big proponent of what they do.
Yeah.
And they also have an auction and a dinner and a show actually on March 7th. And it's from 6 to 10 p.m. When we get closer to time, I'll give you guys more information about that if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, that's awesome, Tay. Thanks.
Yeah.
I love, like, I miss dancing, and I love hearing about, like, especially roots like this where I can relate to that. I didn't have that growing up, so I love hearing about stuff like that kind of has a special place in my heart.
It was really cool to see like the little kids, and it's just I think that it's important. It's like a way to teach them their history through dance. And also she's really trying to instill in them, like, if you guys want to be dancers or want to go to a performing company, you're gonna have to like learn how to change costumes on
fast
cue, and like you're gonna travel, and and sometimes they travel out of state, and they do a lot of programs and scholarships to help these kids go to these places because they don't ever want a kid to feel left out because somebody can't afford it. So they have funding. They do fundraisers and stuff like that to fund trips and stuff as well.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Tam.
Yeah.
My review of the week is going to be a podcast. It's just lately I find myself in the last, I want to say probably couple of weeks, just trying to revisit a lot of the podcasts that kind of made us want to do this, like ones that I was kind of listening to and seeing, what worked for them, what do they do that, that I like, that why I like listening to them and everything. So I've just kind of been revisiting them and familiarizing myself with them. And this one is it's a Modern Love podcast. It's by NPR. They have all kinds of different, ones. But this one in particular, I really like because I'm such a sap and like a romantic. And, like at the end of the day, I just want to love and be loved. And these are all like short stories that were written and selected to be in the New York Times. So everybody, a lot of people had access to reading these articles, but what they've done is over the course of, I think they started this back in 2017 or 2018 was when they put it on the podcasting platform. And they've got celebrities or like public figures who are reading these articles, which is cool because they're voices that you can kind of, you're familiar with.
Right.
You kind of recognize.
You're like,
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. So I like that. Excuse me. And then usually at the end of it, they also do like a short interview with the author themselves. Okay. And that talks about kind of like, where they were when they read this, or, why, why they chose to write this story in this way, things like that. And then also they kind of do a short interview with the celebrity or whomever chose to read it. And a lot of the times the reason why they chose to read it is because they can apply it to themselves, or it resonates with them, or relates to them. And that is really humanizing to me, especially when it comes to celebrities, because, celebrities, you always hold to this higher standard, all this stuff. So I find that really, really cool and really interesting because it kind of humanizes them. And then it also is very educating. Another point that I really, really enjoy about the podcast is that they're not all romantic type of loves. It's called Modern Love for a reason, because they kind of do like familial relationships as well as like friendships. And I can really appreciate that because there's something for everyone, you know, like I listened to one not too long ago that was about a mother's relationship with her daughter when she was going through something really personal, and she kind of invaded her privacy, couldn't tell her about it, but like wanted to be there for her, you know? So it talks about that kind of challenge and how she betrayed her trust and things like that. So I love that because, again, like even if the episode that they put out this week doesn't necessarily resonate with you, the next one probably will in a different way, or somebody that you know. Or
I like that.
Yeah, and it's really fun, and they're easy listening. None of them are very long. None of them are usually longer than 25, 30 minutes. You know, they're super easy to listen to. They had a Valentine's Day one that they had people of all ages read like short love stories under 100 words, and so that can be really a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that can be such a challenge, but it was and it can be as many as 100 words, but it can also be less than. But it was just really cool and interesting to see how like, you know, the kids would do that or how like the adults would translate that and just what stories it was. But all in all, it's been making me feel really less cynical about love and relationships and things like that, like I have been. So this is definitely the kind of energy that I need, you know, and this is kind of stuff that I need to keep manifesting for myself if I do want to try to cultivate and grow those positive and healthy relationships moving forward. So I really appreciate that, and I really wanted to kind of highlight that this week because of all the podcasts I've been catching up on. This one's kind of stuck out to me the most. So check it out. I don't know what all platforms it's on, but it's NPR. You know, it's not that hard to find NPR. If you know and listen to NPR, I listen to it on Apple Podcasts, but it's called the Modern Love Podcast. So check it out.
Probably stream everywhere.
I think so. I think you're probably right.
So our format's a little weird today. Do we want to hop into a quick break or go ahead and get into our hot topic for the day?
Let's do a quick break because our hot topic, I feel like, is going to be
It's girthy.
It's a girthy one. Let's not use that word.
So we're going to take another 2 to 3 minute break.
And we'll see you guys on the flip side. You're listening to The Way with Jazz and Tay.
I'm Dr. Anthony Lizowitz, and this is Climate Connections. In hospitals, schools, and homes, people depend on nurses and listen to their advice.
For 17 years in a row, we've been the Gallup poll's most trusted profession.
That's Phyllis Eide, Associate Professor of Nursing at Washington State University. She says nurses are well positioned to help people understand how climate change threatens their health. For example, the risk of heat stroke and asthma will grow as the climate warms. She says nurses can also encourage patients to take precautions.
How can you help your clients understand where they can go for resources, whether it's a cooling center, whether it's information on how, if they're low income, maybe there are organizations that can help them climate-proof their homes?
But to share information, nurses first need to be fully informed. So Eide says nursing schools should include climate change in their curriculums. She says the profession has a responsibility to educate patients and push for programs to protect public health. For example, nurses can advocate for cooling centers and programs to check on the elderly during weather emergencies.
That's part of our identity as a profession, to really advocate for those vulnerable people.
Climate Connections is produced by the Yale Center for Environmental Communication. Learn more at yaleclimateconnections.org.
Hey, Seattle! Tune in to The Way with Jazz and Tay every Thursday morning from 7 to 8 a.m.
We'll be bringing you lots of laughs and class to get you ready for the day and the weekend ahead.
We have something for everyone, from Song of the Week, where we'll introduce you to local Seattle artists,
to the quirky games that we play for that little pick-me-up to get you through your morning commute. Again, that's The Way with Jazz and Tay every Thursday morning from 7 to 8 a.m.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Way Jazz and Tay and on Twitter at The Way JT. See you guys on Thursday.
It's time that you are heard, and I don't mean in just a conversation. I mean really heard. Imagine hosting your very own radio program on Alternative Talk 1150. Talk about being heard. Call 425-653-1150 right now to learn how affordable it can be to host your own radio show. Time slots are going fast, so take hold of this chance by dialing 425-653-1150. Alternative Talk. We have an opportunity waiting just for you.
Self-help, healing, spirituality, and more on Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Way with Jazz and Tay. Before the break, we did our review of the week. And we took a little break because our hot topic this week is a little bit lengthy. We've got a lot to talk about. So, as it is Black History Month, we wanted to keep it real black and proud, as always. And so we watched, there's actually a documentary out on Netflix currently called She Did That. It was executive produced by Renee Blewett, who is an entrepreneur herself. And essentially what the documentary did was highlight the stories of multiple Black female entrepreneurs. It talked about their struggles. It talked about, their highs, their lows. Yeah. It really just gave you a picture of what it is to be a Black female entrepreneur these days. And before we really jump into it, we want to give you guys some statistics because I was not surprised, but at the same time, I was.
Yeah.
So, the one thing that we learned from this documentary is that Black women are the largest growing group of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
1.3 million of businesses are owned by Black women. And it said that Black women are 3 to 5 times more likely to start a business than white women are. On top of that, between 2002 and 2012, Black women grew 104%. So that's like a really big number.
That's huge.
Like, honestly, just to hear it be over 100, like 100%'s a lot, right?
Yeah.
But 104, like they overgrew in the span of 10 years as female entrepreneurs. And then in 2015, Black female-owned businesses garnished $54 billion.
In revenue.
$1 billion.
That's huge.
Not million. Billion. Okay? So, those are just some of the stats. Did you have some that you wanted to?
We're starting businesses 6 times quicker than the national average. Between 2007 and 2012, female-owned Black businesses saw 70% of growth in that time. I do believe those are probably the only 2 that I got.
So basically what the stats are saying is that
we are
Black
out here.
Women are breaking out and they are turning up, okay? And like I said, I was surprised by the stats. Like, I was definitely surprised that Black women are the largest growing group, but I'm not surprised at the same time because I know so many Black women who do for themselves and who, are entrepreneurial and who just have that mindset.
Yeah, like when you think about it, what it did was it put it into perspective. It gave us an actual number and it gave us a bigger picture,
right? Rather
than just us like, oh, we know this. You know, we know a lot of people who do this, but giving us the
numbers and like this is a big thing and it's changing, business.
Exactly. It was eye-opening. Very eye-opening.
The documentary follows a lot of women, but the women that they highlighted was New York Times bestselling author Luvi Ajayi.
I think it's Luvi
Ajayi.
Because
yes, she has a social media network called Love Nation, and that would make sense.
And she's Nigerian.
And they also followed I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Fab Finance, but this girl named Tanya Rapley, who is, I would say, like a finance consultant.
Yeah.
the founder of Curl's daughter, Lisa Price, the founder of the Lip Bar, Melissa Butler. And I would say that, like, it was super interesting to see Lisa Price on this documentary.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows Carol's daughter, and I just, for one, didn't expect to see her on this documentary, but I really appreciate it that they had her here because, you know, just as somebody who's trying to start something on their own, it was really great to see somebody who we know her product.
Yeah.
We know how successful she is. And to see her on this documentary and hear her story and it sound much the same as, you know, your own is really intriguing, interesting.
It was just real. It was so
I don't want to say like reassuring, but also kind of reassuring.
Yeah, because and we know that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. The first time she said that she made a profit with this was back in 1993, and it was like for a church fundraiser.
But like, who remembers seeing Curl's daughter until like late 2000s?
That part.
In like Target. That's probably the first time I'd ever seen it.
Exactly.
So it took her like 18 years before she was even in stores.
Like see, like it's time, but it's a quote that came up, I think around this time that she was talking about it was, think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. And that was something that Oprah had said. And that relates to that. It's just like, you know, it took her like 10 plus, 15 plus, almost 20 years to get to where she did. But she had her ups and downs. But she thought like a queen. And in the end, she persevered. She's now a part of the L'Oreal family. Yeah. Like, that is huge.
Yeah.
How many people can say that they've done that, especially with an African-American hair care line?
Right.
Your favorite could never. You know who I'm talking about.
I don't know. So after watching this, you know, obviously us having this podcast, it felt like they were speaking to our souls the entire time. I was like, ew, stop reading my mind.
We kept like giving each other glances.
Yeah, I feel that. And so I wanted to actually ask Jasmine some questions and answer some myself about the documentary, and you know, just kind of see how she felt about it, what she thought. So what would you say resonated with you the most about what they all said or what they all had to say?
I feel it's something that I feel like I've kind of been hearing, and it's kind of just like, yes, I understand that, but it's also a matter of actually applying it, and it's just the being consistent. And it is the matter of you are going to fail and have your lows and be told no. And that is something that I'm having to become more, I guess, okay with. And that it's taking those chances. These women all have taken chances on small scales and on larger scales. And that is something that we need to kind of start doing. And that's something that keeps resonating with me. Even from the first time that we've watched it, it's kind of given me a little like more push on top of just the conversations that we've had lately. It's kind of giving me that boost and that energy to try harder, take those chances, and be okay to hear no's. Be okay with hearing the no's and getting
not everybody's
turned away.
Gonna like it.
Yeah, we're not everybody's flavor, and that's okay.
For me, there were two women who own the Krabby Shack in Brooklyn. It's a restaurant in Brooklyn named Fifi Bell and Gwen Woods. And what really resonated with me was Gwen's husband passed away at some point while they were, you know, opening that business. And Fifi was essentially just saying that for her, you know, it's really a driving force to make sure that her friend or her partner in this is always okay. And she's like, you know, I'll never rest or sleep until I know that she's going to be good. And that really resonated with me because, you know, we're not in this alone.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you can let yourself down as easy as you want to, and you can bail on yourself as easy as you want to. Like, if this was a solo podcast and I was like, this is too hard, I could just be like out.
Yeah.
But I've got Jasmine, and I feel like for me, that's like another driving force. I'm like, yo, we got to make this work. Like, got to make it work for her, got to make it work for me.
Yeah.
And we're going to work it out together. But that just really resonated with me. And I actually started crying a little bit.
Yeah, Yeah, no, it's true. It's like, we're in this together, and it does take the both of us. And there's going to be days like, they talked about how, their line of work is obviously different than what we do, but they had a day where, their staff was sick, and then they had to take care of the whole entire business for the day because their staff was sick. And then at the end of the day, their cleaner never showed up.
So then they had to clean.
Guess who ended up having to clean? They were there for like 13, 14 hours that day.
I would have threw the towel.
But it was like it had to get done, and it wasn't going to get done unless they did it. And that is absolutely where we are at. Nothing's going to get done unless I'm doing it, unless she's doing it, unless we're doing this together. So
right. So my next question is, what piece of advice are you going to take away from the documentary? I feel like you might have already kind of touched on this, but
yeah, it's that it's gonna take time, and but it's also all about how you approach it.
Right.
So I can't just use that as a scapegoat. I can't just be like, well, things like this take time, without actively trying to push it along.
Right.
Without doing what I need to do to get it there in that amount of time.
Yeah.
So, yes, just that matter of it's okay that we have a plan and nothing happens for maybe like a month or two. But hey, maybe after the third or fourth month, things start to kind of like pick up, or we get some kind of
momentum.
Thank you. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Literally.
And then, I'll say the same. For me, it wasn't that I was surprised to hear that advice, but hearing people who are successful say exactly what you're thinking and feeling is reassuring.
Yeah.
You're like, I just don't really know if this is going well, if this is for me, if this is going to work out. And they all said that. They were like, I felt crazy, confused. I didn't know what was going on, if I was going to have a paycheck. Like, some of them had really crazy stories that they came back from. And I was like, you know what? Right on. Like, that's just really great to hear. Like, it's gonna be hard, but I'm of the mindset of like, anything that's not hard, is it really worth doing?
Right.
Challenge yourself. And then were you surprised to hear the numbers or to see those numbers?
That part. So yes and no. Like, we touched on it, and I feel like we knew that the numbers were going to be large, but I just don't think we knew how large.
Right.
Yeah. And that is just absolutely incredible. Mm-hmm. We're strong, we're smart, we persevere, we can
absolutely,
we take any challenge that is thrown at us. And I really want to touch on a couple things that kind of also gave me like some kind of a boost of confidence, or like as far as what we do. So the lip bar girls that she touched on, Melissa, what was her name?
Melissa Butler.
Melissa Butler. They actually put their product on Shark Tank, and Shark Tank shot them down, called them colorful cockroaches, and said like, this is like, basically called it tacky and all this stuff. And these girls, like, she literally taught herself from scratch how to make this lipstick. She was like, I want something that I know what's in it, and something that's going to look good on women who look like me. And this was kind of how it was received at first. Now she's over here, and her products are being carried in Target, and she's successful. And that is something to me that is just kind of like, it doesn't matter who is telling you no. If you've got that mindset and that driving force, you will get there.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who think that, like, who their goal is to get on Shark Tank, that is their end all be all. And if Shark Tank says no, then
what's your next
plan?
Then
that's it.
Right.
But no, for me, that's going to be a stepping stone.
Right.
I'm going to try even harder after that, So I love that. And that did, like, she essentially said that, that made them want to try even harder. Another thing that really resonated with me was almost all of these women were talking about how they were working their 9-to-5s, and then also being, some cases, wives and mothers, and then also adding extra hours a day into their hobby, which is they're trying to grow this business.
Right.
That's incredible. We don't even have kids. We don't have husbands. Those aren't the kinds of lives that we are living right now, and we are tired.
I don't even know.
Yeah, like I don't know how they do it. There's not enough hours in the day. There's not enough time in the weekend. So it was reassuring to me knowing that, hey, like what we're doing is incredible, but there are also other women out there who are working even harder.
Right.
And that just makes me want to try that much
Even harder.
Because
right.
if they can do it, we can.
Absolutely.
We can do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is our hot topic for the week. She Did That is on Netflix. You guys should all check it out. If you're an entrepreneur, I definitely think you should check it out and share it with anybody who you know is a female, Black entrepreneur, because it's powerful and it meant a lot to be able to watch it.
Yeah, a lot of it was very I found myself smiling a lot about it. You know, just it was well done, and it was so empowering.
Yes. So definitely check it out, and it's definitely the way. Now we are going to very quickly run through our Seattle happenings because there's a lot going on and we don't have a lot of time.
There is so much.
All right. So tonight we will be at Club Sir for an art show, concert, festival. Our friend Blackskin will be performing. That's tonight. I don't know if it's sold out. We bought our tickets in advance and they were $15.
Yes.
So you can try to get in where you fit in. And then on Friday, our friend Rashid is throwing another event. It's called F the Gatekeepers Volume 2. And that is going to be at Rendezvous. It's also a concert with multiple, Seattle artists. I think 4 to 5 Seattle artists will be performing there. And that's from, don't catch me lying, but I think 8 to 11. Next Tuesday, there is the Black History Month Mixer.
Ooh.
Yeah. From 6 to 8 at Remitly, which is in downtown on 3rd Ave. It is free to women of color and $10 for everyone else. There will be a discussion panel and networking opportunities.
That sounds like that's where we need to be.
I really want to go.
It's a payroll week for me, but I think I can make it happen.
And then on February 28th, our friends from The Collective are hosting another Rhyme and Reason poetry show. It will be hosted at The Collective Seattle, which is also in downtown Seattle, and that's from 7 to 10:30. Tickets are $15, and if you want to go to this poetry show, you should get your tickets quick because it will sell out.
Yeah, they do sell. These events sell out, so don't get caught slipping.
Don't ever get caught slipping. And then March 7th, there's another event. It's a business warming event that the 206 Connect is hosting. It's from 2 to 5, and it's at Luther's Table in Renton. They have general admission for anybody who wants to attend, but they're also looking for vendors. And if you want to find majority of these events, you can search them on Eventbrite. Yeah.
And I've got a couple little things here. Saturday is National Margarita Day.
Yes.
It won't be hard for y'all to partake in that. Just go and have a meal at a Mexican restaurant and order a margarita with it.
A backlog to see when your guys' show is on drinking days, like a national day. We need to look up those shows and have those shows prepared.
I am ready.
So try classic flavor, try it blended, try it on the rocks, try salt, try no salt. I don't care.
Try one of the fun flavors. Strawberry, guava, grapefruit.
I recently tried
that look after you said grapefruit. You're like, ooh, wait.
I had a Cadillac margarita not too long ago.
Ooh, Grey Marnier.
Yeah, didn't know that they do a float on top.
Yeah.
Those things are strong.
That's us when we go on the cruise.
Yeah.
Gotta eat first though. Too.
Right.
Make sure you eat a little bit.
Make sure, right. Fill up on chips and salsa, maybe a burrito or two, but definitely partake in a margarita on Saturday.
Sure you haven't had one yet?
Right. Also, Tuesday, Mardi Gras, a.k.a. Fat Tuesday.
Let's go.
Shouts out to all of my New Orleans fam.
Just keep it rolling after Margarita Day.
Keep
it going.
Just roll it to the week, Earn your beads or don't. I don't care. But have fun, but also be safe.
Boop, boop.
And lastly,
that's exciting.
If you're not going to partake in Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday festivities, have a